What's good, everybody? You know who it is and you know what it is. We're bringing you some more hot heat for another episode of The Man Behind the Brand, and I'm your boy, Stylist Sean Gardner here, checking in all the way from Dallas, Texas. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We're about to jump right into it. And we back at it again. I told y'all we bringing the best of the fashion, lifestyle, and beauty. And today, I'm in the home of the man with the plan himself, KG of Cosign magazine.
Man, how's it going?
Good, man. I thank you for inviting me into your space. It's all about the Cosign life, you know what I'm saying? Cosign life. If you ain't about that life, you missing out.
Hey, I appreciate it.
So you've been a face of Dallas for some years now for the nightlife. Before, I would say club promoters can't even touch it because you bring some of the best heat and the content with all your issues. How many issues have y'all had in the ongoing years of Cosign?
Man, I think we're at right now like 28. So what we did when we first started, we started off biannually. So we did 2 a year, then we went quarterly, and then we started to crank it back up. So now we're at 28 issues.
So I know you told me before the interview, y'all, he told me he was not from Dallas. He's a service kid. He been doing this, running the scene and, mixing and mastering across the board on many platforms because, you have several brands, several businesses. So how's it juggling all of that at one time?
It can be difficult at times, but I got good people in my life to kind of help balance me. So I'm really structured on schedule and allocate my time correctly, right? So I try to make sure each hour of my day is accounted for. That way I'm not just freestyling my days. So kind of how I plan my days is I get up at 6:30 to 7, 7 to 7:30 is where I kind of pray, get my mind right, just kind of spend time to focus on myself, read, hit my mom, do stuff like that, hit my daughter before she goes to school. 7:30 to 8:30, I'm in the gym. 8:39, shower, breakfast. 9 to 12, I strictly focus on Cosign. After 12 o'clock, then I take my time and I work on my jewelry brand from Katie's Custom Jewelry from 12 to 3, 3 to 4. I spend time to come back wherever I got to go to, whether it's back to Dallas or Cedar Hill. 4 to 7, I'm back on Cosign, and then 7 to the rest of the day is my time to do whatever I want. So that way, I know for sure what I'm doing every day, and I'm not just freestyling my days. When you're freestyling, a lot of times you're gonna mess up or you're gonna lose time, and then you're not really gonna focus on the actual goal. So that's kind of how I plan my days out.
Man, that is so powerful. You just talked about the whole power of time management. People really, I feel like, don't understand your time is your money and your value, and how do you use it wisely?
Definitely.
And determines your outcome. So what was it about when you located to Dallas and you just wanted to take over the whole nightlife and highlight who's hot, who's not, what's really popping, and highlight, because we have a lot of creators in this city and people don't even realize it or just know about it. So was it in college or how did it jump for you?
Man, so it's a really long story, but to kind of summarize it up, when I was in high school, I was one of those kids who was naturally great at school. It didn't take much for me to get A's and B's. I never got a C in my life. I was just naturally great at school and I played basketball. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I know I was great at business. I took a business class, and I knew I like to think about people's minds, why people do what they do, what made them do what they do. And my psychology teacher told me I should look into being a psychologist. But once she told me it was 8 years of school, I was like, nah, I can't do it. No. I can't do 8 years of college, man. I was ready to get out of high school. I graduated early. I was so ready to get to school, and I could do 4, but 8 I can't do. So she told me to look into other things that's similar to what I was interested in. So she was look into marketing and journalism. Those are both things where you get to study people. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that. So I ended up going to a business school called Northwood University, taking an advertising program. And from there, I interned at a magazine called Ozone Magazine. That magazine was all hip hop artists, producers, right? And I loved it. I got to interview some artists. But what I realized was, man, there were a lot more stories that needed to be told. Creatives, entrepreneurs, people behind the scenes. But Ozone wouldn't allow me to tell those stories. So I was like, man, if I can't find what I'm looking for within somebody else's platform, I'm just creating myself. So that's what I ended up doing. I created Cosign. and Cosign stands for like supporter. You know, like when you get a loan, somebody stepping their name on that. So I was like, okay, I want to be that Cosign for entrepreneurs and creators. Right? Like so many people are talented, but they just need that extra push to get them across the board. So like if I can co-sign them, let them know that their platform is reputable, then hopefully get some more eyes and attention on there. And that's kind of like the summary of how how and why I created a platform, Cosign.
That's what's up. Now, y'all, he does not know this. This is our first initial interaction meeting up, but in 2013, when I first started producing fashion shows, y'all came and actually covered my event.
That's what's up.
So it was like a really honor and a pleasure just to be featured on a platform so big. So, I'm grateful to be here.
Man, thank you, bro. Thank you for the opportunity, man. Because a lot of times you don't have to reach out for having somebody. That's why I tell people, man, a lot of times, like, it's not so much that, like, a platform doesn't want to come to an event, but you have to let people know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I think people have so much going on. They're trying to do so much. They're like, it's just a simple, email or DM, like, hey, I have this going on. Would love for you to have somebody come out. And if we got somebody, we'll come out. So I appreciate you reaching out, letting us know what you had going on, so we could cover it.
Yes, sir. So now, co-signing, it can go two ways. Right. I know a lot of people on social media world, definitely these Instagram models, they want to be co-signed for their beauty. But do you feel like sometimes people get caught up in the hype of being co-signed versus just riding their own lane and being great within themselves?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I honestly believe nobody in this world is self-made. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like nobody did anything on their own, right? So when people say, if you look at artists, right? A lot of artists have songs or something to say no cosign. It's all a lie, bro.
Because you got a whole team of people.
Yeah, it's all a lie. Somebody co-signed you. That DJ that played your music co-signed you. Right. That producer who gave you that beat co-signed you. Your manager co-signed you. So everybody has a co-sign. So when you're talking about models in beauty, and when they say like, they don't need a co-sign or they can catch from the facade, I feel like you don't look for a cosign, right? You just work your hardest that you can. You focus on yourself, and that cosign will come along, right? So that even goes into what we're doing, right? Somebody who wants to be on the platform, or even myself, like when I look to do bigger things, I just focus on the work. Get the work done. When you get the work done, you're consistent. People will see it, and then they'll want to hop on board. They want to support you, want to cosign you. But you can't be working for that. You work for your goals, and somebody else will attach to it later on.
That's so true. That's so true. So really just riding your own lane and just being noticed naturally.
It'll happen, man. Cause like if you do something every day repeatedly, bro, people will get wary of it. Like you'll get the attention, but you gotta be consistent. A lot of people, they quit too early. You know what I'm saying? They'll do something for like 6 months to a year. Nobody's messing with my brand. Nobody buys my products. All right, what are you doing to get your name out there? Are you doing it every day? Do you have a schedule? How hard are you going? 1 hour a day is not gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? 2 hour day is not going to cut it.
The consistency.
Consistency. You got to do it every day. Every day. All the time.
So now, like quarantine, COVID, it just took everybody by storm. We still trying to figure out if this is the new normal or what are we doing. So I know, your surface here in the area of Dallas-Fort Worth, y'all did Cosign Awards and things like that, honoring a lot of great creative people, acknowledging people that's underdogs and so forth. How was the change of not being able to actually do your annual event for you? How did that make you feel? How did you kind of like, well, how are we gonna get through this? This is just something I look forward to. Virtual is just not the same.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult, man. I entertained doing a virtual award show for like 60 minutes. I entertained it, but I was like, man, it's not the same, right? It wouldn't touch the people the same. And I always look at it for the end user, right? I look at it as a consumer, okay? Me as a consumer, will I take the time out of my day and watch a virtual award show? 1, if I'm being honored, or 2, if I'm not. If I'm not, I wouldn't watch it, right? I'm just gonna be honest, I wouldn't watch it. And then for one, even if I was, how can I get my supporters and people to tune in watching me? They'll more so be like, okay, just send me the recap. So I'm like, you know what, it's not the same. So it's no point in me investing my time, energy, and resources into doing a virtual award show, because a lot of people like the Cosign Award because it brings our community together. Everybody's dressed up. It's a networking event. You have the dinner portion, you got the entertainment, and you get to honor other people. So like, man, if I can't do it live, then I didn't want to do it at all. But I haven't said it, I haven't even announced it. I don't know when this is coming out, But the Cosign Awards will return Sunday, November 14th, 2021.
Man, y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, it's an exclusive. We got the venue already locked in, date locked in. So Sunday, November 14th, 2021, the Cosign Awards Dinner and Gala returns.
Look, I'm definitely in the building. Definitely in the building. If you're not in the building, you missing out. Because it ain't nothing virtual. Like you just said here, it is not the same.
Yeah, in person. New venue too. Man, y'all gonna love this spot.
So like, you know, Cosign, like, you know, so what is like your top 3 brands that you co-sign for?
Are we talking about national? Or we talking about
it doesn't even matter, just whoever.
I'm gonna say one, Nike. What I love about Nike too is, yeah, it's a product, but for me, I feel like Nike's a storytelling brand, right? Like, if you ever said, like, when I watch a Nike commercial or Instagram ad, like, it makes you feel something. It evokes emotion. It makes me want to go out and run. It makes me want to go out there and play basketball. It makes me want to just do it, and I like that aspect. So I would say Nike is number 1. Number 2 would be Apple for innovation. Always thinking ahead, having the passion to be able to sacrifice everything for your goal, for your dreams. You know what I'm saying? The story behind Apple is an amazing story. So Apple will be my 2nd favorite brand. 3rd, man, I'd probably have to say, I'm gonna say the NBA. I feel like NBA is a brand.
Oh yeah, definitely is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the NBA. I like how the NBA culture has shifted. The NBA culture has shifted into definitely being cognizant of Black culture, understanding the importance of Black lives, meaning that, for one, the NBA is made up of a lot of, you know, Black athletes, coaches. Like, you know, we are the culture. So I like how the NBA has shifted, how they intertwined music, art, fashion, and culture all into the NBA brand. So it's no longer, yeah, it's basketball, but it's more to it. Now it's like, what are the athletes doing outside of playing basketball? The interviews and the conversations are different. You know what I'm saying? It's real life conversations. It's conversations about fatherhood, Black Lives Matter, police brutality. Then it's fashion. You get to see what the players are wearing out. So now you're ahead of what, you know, you're ahead of the curve of what people are wearing, what shoes they're wearing. Style. So I would say the NBA brand is my 3rd one.
Now, as far as content is concerned, you know, y'all have so much y'all offer. Like, it's, you know, nowadays, nothing is like censored for kids at all, right?
Right.
So like, how do you generate and know how to target your audience? Because I mean, it's a lot of great things we offer here, but then, you know, some things you just can't control. They gonna see it, they gonna see it. So how do you, throughout these years of creating these issues, how do you manage developing, creating, and discovering the right content to put out?
Man, it's just trial and error, man. So for one, everything we do with Cosign is positivity. So you'll never see us bashing somebody or a brand. If it doesn't align with the Cosign brand, then we just won't post it, or we just won't cover it up. I'm not in the business of tearing somebody else down, man, woman, Black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna tear you down. We're all humans at the end of the day. So if it doesn't align with positivity, motivation, aspiration, creativity, business, I'm just not even gonna give it attention. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we can spend our time doing better things. We can spend our time learning a new skill, learning a new trade, learning a new language, learning other people's cultures. So I'd rather focus on teaching people, providing value, than exposing negativity. I mean, there's platforms for negativity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I let people do that. I will tell you though, for stuff that, you know, maybe a little more risque, like vices. Like, we all have vices. Let's be real. We're humans. So we did a Vice issue, and we interviewed an adult film star, right? So even with that might have been like, wow, why would y'all do that? For one, I mean, she's a human. She has a story to tell.
And it's entertainment.
It's entertainment, right? But not even that. Now I'm telling you not only about you. Now you're figuring more about this person than what you just see. What's wrong with people is we see somebody and we judge them for what they do, not who they are, right? So when I do this interview, yeah, she's an adult film star, but why did she get into the industry?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Was something happen in her life, or did she, you know, in her right mind, no, I want to do this because this will help me financially, right? Maybe it'll give me exposure going from that to modeling. Right. Whatever her reasons were, I got to share that with us, and she told me about the business of it. So I mean, I'm in business.
Right.
It might be an outlet that there might be a good investment for you. You don't know until you hear about it, right? So she told me about the adult film business, where there's money at, where there's not money at, how it's going. So I'm all about sharing stories, whether it's risque or not. As long as there's a story behind it, I feel like provides value to people, I'll do it, and it doesn't harm other people.
That's what's up. So speaking of, as far as value is concerned, like when you shot so many faces, so many A-listers, B-listers, so many great faces, Dan Lay, Drea, so many more names. Who's been your favorite issue to shoot and cover shoot?
That's a good question. My favorite, to be politically correct, I'm gonna say all of them. But to answer your to answer your question, I would probably say Drea. Not Drea. I'm sorry, Drea. Karen Civil. Because of the whole experience. That was Karen Civil. For those who don't know her, please Google Karen Civil. She's an amazing woman. That issue, because it was the experience of everything. So for one, it was our first time. It was the first time I was able to fly my whole team to LA for a cover shoot.
Wow.
My editor, photographer, videographer, we went to LA, housed us. We rented a location out there. Karen Civil came, booked the whole styling team, makeup artists, hair, the whole nine. And so it was the first time in another city, a huge city like LA, that we had this experience to do a A or B list. I honestly don't know like the list, but
right.
For me, she's a top tier name. So to be able to do that interview and that cover shoot in LA, and for two, it built a relationship. So it wasn't just a one-off. Like we're still close to this day. DM all the time. She said when she's in Dallas, she's gonna come stop by the loft to see what I've done with the place. And I'm even thinking about probably bringing her down here. I don't know, either for like a brunch or maybe even the awards, but just to keep expanding on that relationship. So I would say that's probably my best cover because of an experience, and I learned a lot from her. A lot of times with me, I'm a nonchalant person. I'm kind of laid back. I stand up for myself, but I'm a laid back person. So what I learned from her was, we had some mishaps at the shoot, and instead of her just kind of going with the flow, she told me respectfully, like, hey, this was great, but I don't like this. I would really like if we could reshoot. You know what I'm saying? But she gave me the opportunity to reshoot with my team instead of just saying, I don't like it, we're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? She came to me, she was like, I don't like this because of this. I'll be in Dallas this time so we can reshoot. And then we actually did this. So my team had another opportunity to sit down with her, work with her, reshot the cover. She loved the images, and and she respected that I was willing to, compromise and reshoot, even though I came all the way to LA. We did it again in Dallas, and we made magic. So I learned a lot from her. So I would probably say Karen Civil was my greatest cover.
So for a person that's coming up, trying to get and find their way into the entertainment industry, how important would you say brand development and knowing your audience is?
It's super important, man, because a lot of times you can have a great product or a great service, but if you're not talking to the right people, it doesn't matter, right? So you have to spend a lot of your time figuring out who your audience is, because everybody is not your audience, everybody is not your target customer. And I feel like that's what people kind of get messed up at. Everything is broad, like, well, this can work for everybody. Okay, it could work for everybody, but who specifically, right? So make your ideal customer out. Where do they shop at? What's their interest? What do they like? How much do they make? You know what I'm saying? Because all that matters. If you're trying to sell a $1,000 service to somebody who can only afford a $100 product, that's not your audience, right? So you got to make that up, and then you have to create content that targets to them, and you have to play with it as well. A/B testing, figuring it out. I mean, it takes time to find out your target audience. Branding, I feel like you can kind of get beginning on point. Anybody can help with that with marketing, but finding your exact target audience may take a little more time, but it's just trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make mistakes in this game to learn.
Sure.
So I definitely say just spend the time learning who your customers are, learning your price points, because that'll help too with your customers. Surveys, ask questions. Instagram's a free platform, man. You'll be surprised how many polls people will respond to, and then take that information and apply it to what you have going on.
So what would you say is the biggest stamp and reward that you receive as being Cosign? Because you're obviously Cosign, because a lot of people fool with you. They mess with you. You know what I'm saying? What's the biggest reward that you say you've got from just seeing the opportunities you provide to people?
Man, honestly, man, anytime somebody buys a ticket to an event, purchases an issue or purchases a magazine, purchases a shirt, anything buys an ad, to me, is a great accomplishment to me, because I'm like, man, you do not have to spend your money with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can spend your money with anybody. So for me, that's my greatest accomplishment. Because you think about it, we all have ideas and dreams, and I think about where I started at and where these ideas came from and where I'm at today, and to see how people respond to the brand and what we do. And man, to me, it's amazing. It's been almost 10 years, and to me, it still feels new. It still feels fresh, and I'm still appreciative of everybody who reads an issue, who watches a video, who shares a post. Like, man, I appreciate it all. And honestly, man, I don't want to sound, like a cupcake, but I think I'm gonna appreciate it up until the day I pass away, man, because it's like, I've had this vision for so long, and it's just different when you see somebody really support your vision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I do this full time.
Because you've worked for it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I worked for it, and I created this, you know what I'm saying? My idea was created. Yeah, a team built it, but it came from my mind, and I had to sell that vision to people to help me create this. So it's like, man, to me, that's like, working for myself is like one of my greatest accomplishments, because it gives me the freedom to do whatever I want in life. Like I always say, like, I don't really care about the money. The money is important because it provides freedom for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The freedom to do what I want. So that's what's important to me. And doing Cosign, having people support me, allows me that freedom. So that's probably my biggest cosign. Anybody who's ever supported me or ever told somebody else about Cosign is really my biggest cosign.
So now, as a black man in entertainment, well, just across the board, period, I know we have a lot of times get it hard on the back end of trying to come up as far as a positive influence or how people perceive us. How do you think that is in relation to you in your life as being a businessman, trying to approach and secure deals and proposals?
Man, so I've asked myself this too a couple of times, because I don't wear suits all the time. Like I'm myself when I go into a meeting. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't like suits. I do like suits.
Nothing wrong with that. You becoming you. It's about the knowledge.
Yeah, I like suits. You know what I'm saying? But it's me. Like, I am who I am, so I don't really want to change myself to for anybody else. Like, if we're going to work together, it has to be on our terms, right? Like, I'm not going to change you. You don't change me, right? So I feel like at the beginning, my problem was trying to be who they thought I was, right? And once I realized, man, it really doesn't matter. Like, as long as I'm comfortable who I am when I'm going to these deals, I'm not selling you something I can't provide, you're not selling me something that you can't do, and we have common terms, then I feel like it's good to go. But as far as being a black man doing these deals, man, I just feel like, man, we have to be like 2 to 3 times, I don't want to say smarter. We just have to really know our shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for cussing, but we really just have to know our stuff frontwards and backwards. We have to know our information. We don't really have the opportunity to slack or to lollygag through business meetings and through deals. Because a lot of these times, you only get one shot, one opportunity. So we have to make every opportunity your best opportunity, because you don't know who these people know, right? There's been times where I've met somebody and I may not have been in the mood to actually take the meeting, but I took it. They introduced me to somebody who became a sponsor. They introduced me to somebody who ended up introducing me to somebody who works at Nike. So now I got a relationship with Nike, man. So you really just have to be on 10 at all times. And I feel like that's the hard part as a black man, being on 10 all the time, because we deal with regular life stuff. Then we deal with the stuff we see on TV. Then we deal with family. So it's so much weight on us that we have to be on 10 when we're outside in the public at all times. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's not as hard as it is for black women. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to keep that in mind. So I just try to make sure I'm on 10 at all times, and I represent myself and my brand, my family at the highest point that I can.
Man, say you heard it here first. Your network is your net worth, and your wealth is your health, and your health is your wealth. So hey, we checking out. This has been an official Cosign conversation.
Yeah.
And you got the exclusive about. Stay tuned for the award show.
Hey.
Give them the date one more time.
Sunday, November 14th, 2021. 4th annual Cosign Awards. Be there for sure.
Be there.
Yes.
If you ain't in there, hey, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something hot.
Y'all tap
a
in.
movie. We're going up.
Tap in. Hey, what up, guys? It's KG, founder of Cosign Magazine, your favorite magazine, and you are just tuned in to the man behind the brand. Peace.